What happens is I turn you down because you're inevitably going to just start squawking at the top of your lungs.
Okay.
And today you've been a wee bit of a dumpster fire human, and so I'm pretty sure...
Be nice to me.
I will do no such thing. Hey guys, welcome to Cold Hands, Warm Hearts, the one and only podcast with one very organized and proficient host and one who can't sort her life out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it's true. I always feel like I could have gotten a few more barbs in before the music started because it's like it goes on for a minute.
Yeah.
You're the worst.
You're the worst.
Hey guys, we're just collecting ourselves and trying to figure out what is happening in Ashley Engle's life today.
You want to introduce yourself?
I do. Hi, guys. Welcome to Cold Hands, Warm Hearts. I'm Brandon Birdwell. I'm one half of the Cold Hands, Warm Hearts podcasting duo.
And I'm Ashley Engle. I'm the other half. And yes, guys, it's been a day. Okay, it's been a day. But you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm professional, is I'm going to set that all aside for the next however many minutes. And I'm going to laugh. And I'm going to tell stories.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do here.
That's what we do here. If there's one thing we do here,
it's that.
It's that.
Guys, it's episode 10.
10. We did it.
That feels like such a milestone.
We did it.
And I don't know what you do to celebrate 10, but...
Is there something, like, should we have done something? Should we, have actually organized something for the 10th episode?
I feel like a person's 10th wedding anniversary, if I'm not mistaken, is the...
Paper mache.
Papier.
Papier mache.
It's tin.
Paper mache hats.
Tin. Tin hats.
That's so... Seriously? It's
Tin.
Tin?
Yes.
That's the laziest thing I've... Johnson from Development came up with that one. He just keeps on rolling out the hits, baby.
That's
Johnson.
Because you know what you do if you change one letter in the word 10?
10.
Tin.
10.
So anyway, guys, 10th episode. What in the world? You just keep coming back, and we're so glad that you do. We're glad to be here.
You sounded like somebody's weird, creepy aunt
I
at
really
holidays
did.
right there. Like, oh, I'm just so glad that you do. Why don't you I'll give you a fresh, shiny quarter if you massage this bunion. Would you like some loose pocket candy, a Werther's Original, maybe?
I made my Jell-O salad. It's your favorite.
Listen, Jell-O salad is nobody's favorite.
It's really not. Stop making it, guys.
Stop making it.
Quit.
Mabel.
Aunt Linda?
Aunt
Stop.
Mabel?
Mabel.
Force feeding us Jell-O? You know the slogan, there's always room for Jell-O from the 80s?
There's not.
Lies, Mabel.
Also, I feel like the fact that Bill Cosby was their spokesperson has really... Their credibility. Okay? It's
Subway with
suffering.
Jared Fogle.
Yeah. I
Jell-O
do
with
sometimes
Bill
love a
Cosby.
Subway sandwich.
Subway, listen, can I tell you something about Subway?
Sure.
Subway went downhill the minute they stopped requiring their sandwich artists to do the trough cut. You remember the trough cut?
Yep.
Where they would cut a triangle into it from the top down. And then they just decided that was too difficult and too labor intensive.
Time consuming.
So they started cutting it normally, and as a result, they started drawing less talented sandwich artists. Now just sandwich makers. But there was a lady named Precious who worked at the Subway in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Sure did. I remember Precious.
Ted calls her What's Taters Precious exclusively. But
referencing Lord of the Rings.
If you would ask her.
For those who don't know.
If you would ask her.
For the people who aren't nerds.
She would do a trough cut for you, even though it was against protocol.
Wow.
I turned the fan off in here.
It's hot now.
But I turned off the lights too, and it's weird.
It's weird vibes.
Here,
the Himalayan lamp is glowing. Okay, guys, we're back to school now. We're back to school, which is part of the reason why my life is a disaster. I've already got two sick kids. It's
because you have too many kids to begin with.
Okay. I also appreciate the safety, I'm going to use the word protocols again. Mm-hmm. I appreciate the safety protocols to ensure that the correct people pick up the correct kids. Mm-hmm. Well, my car is in the shop. And so my tag for picking up my kids is also in the shop. I'm driving Jeff's car, you see. Didn't think ahead. And so I arrived to the pickup line early very early to try to be here on time to record with B. And get to the front. We have a new principal. She's darling. Dear principal.
Dear principal.
And very sweetly she said, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to come in, verify that this is your child. And so I did it, and then I had to get in the back of the line.
Oh.
And as you guys know, the pickup line is no joke.
No, I hate.
Don't
listen,
laugh about it.
I won't do it.
It is no joke.
I won't do the pickup. Well, that's not true. I do it, but they do a thing at Ben's school where
Which is, as much as I complain about our pickup line, yours is way worse.
it's way worse. And so they have
More
this
kids.
thing where our neighborhood backs right up to the school. So in theory, I can walk him to the gate in the mornings, and I could pick him up back there. But at the beginning of the year, they make you choose drive pickup or walk pickup.
And you can't deviate?
You can't deviate. You cannot deviate. It could be blistering hot.
Yeah.
It could be
pouring rain.
frigid pouring rain, and I'm expected to walk pickup.
How dare they?
Harumph. Harumph Elementary. Your kids, remember when we were little, we used to call the name of your kid's school Russell Dorky?
Nice.
Remember that?
I do remember
Really
that.
stuck it to him.
We
back
really
then.
got him.
That's good 80s burns right there.
Burns.
You know what I thought of? One of my favorites of all time from the movie The Sandlot after we got off.
Oh, no.
During the whole back and forth, where the big finish is the you play ball like a girl, which, sexist, guys. Sexist.
Totally.
We're not like that on this podcast.
We
I
don't
think,
say that now.
I think, listen, guys, listen. If a woman can bust a ghost, if a woman can heist a casino,
Yes.
okay, she can play ball.
Among other
A
things.
League of Their Own. They just rebooted that for a show.
I haven't watched it yet.
Anyways,
I'm excited.
I digest.
I have mixed feelings.
The best burn in that whole back and forth. They're calling each other names back and forth. And Ham, the great Hambino,
So great.
he says, "Count on it, pee drinking crap face," and that is
Good one.
ice cold.
Ice cold.
Hambino with the burn.
Got him good. So speaking of all this back to school stuff, our back to school special was very well received. And I think it's because you guys like a little structure. No?
Quit it.
I just got shushed.
Yeah, no, you've been shushed. We have superseded language. No more lingity. It's time for the shush.
I'm going to cast spells.
I will cast spells. And
Avada Kedavra.
No, I will not. But what I will do is I will shush. I will shush you if you get out of pocket.
You just did.
And you just stepped out of pocket on this podcast. Listen, guys, I know that structure is whatever, but
It's great.
I find that when the structure is too structured, the people they don't want it.
They don't
the people
want
they want banter. They want repartee.
They're going to get both.
Okay.
So let's talk about a thing that happened this past weekend, because I think we're going to have a lot to talk about here.
Do you?
This was your performance at Oklahoma City's Tower Theater.
Well, I was one of
A group,
several that
fantastic group of performers who were helping to kick off, to celebrate not only our dear friend, JB, his birthday, but also his album release called Am. And JB is a dear friend.
Dear friend.
Very talented person. He's a social activist. His music is part of his activism. He is a rapper, and he takes up incredible causes around our city, and we're really grateful for the work he does. But so this event was star-studded. That's what I'm going to say.
Is that what it was? Was it star-studded?
It was star-studded.
Oh, well, hello.
And you know who opened it? Brandon Birdwell.
This guy
And
right
friends.
here. And friends. And yes, we, I like to wear jorts, jean shorts. And so
One pair in particular
just the one.
that
That's
we
all I've
talked
got.
about. He sewed up with a kit from
Oh,
Walgreens.
God. In retrospect, I've looked back at the sewing job I did, and it is substandard. My sewing.
Probably compliments the jorts well, though.
I don't know.
They're pretty stringy to begin with.
They're my methiest garment.
Oh, totally.
Like-
I thought you meant to say messiest, and then I was like, nope.
Nope.
That's it.
I'm in here making a meth of everything. Now listen, guys.
My life is a meth.
Dude, it really is. You are dirty brown water trash today.
There's a T-shirt My life is a myth.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well,
Add that to the merch
It's
list.
going to go over super well. Listen.
Okay, go ahead.
So I like to wear jorts, and we don't really have a band name, and so we always cycle between different variations of something jorts. And
Yes.
we've been jorts Clooney before,
Which I really enjoy.
We've been Curious Jorts. We've been Jorts Costanza. But when I walked into our rehearsal prior to the show, our dear friend and hilarious comedian,
Yes.
Matthew Toney,
Matty T.
he had on the big screen where we were practicing Brandon Birdwell and Salute Your Jorts. And I was very excited about it. So for that night, we didn't announce it, but we were Salute Your Jorts for the evening. So
probably only a few people from our demographic would get that.
yeah, those are hard to find. I knew somebody who tracked them down on
episodes?
DVD.
Yeah.
This was years ago, and they found them, and they were so excited. They ordered them, and they showed up, and they were just hand-burned DVDs that someone had written the titles on.
No.
Dude, listen.
That's not what I paid for.
That's one heck of a racket that person's running
really
in their
is.
little Etsy shop.
For the two people who want them.
God, Budnick. I said, we hope we never part, Budnick. Now get it right or pay the price. When he says, when I think about you, it makes me want to fart. Because it rhymes with part. Do you see?
I do see.
Bobby Budnick. There was a character on that show named Donkey Lips.
I do remember.
He talked like this.
Yeah.
Budnick.
Yeah. I do remember that. I remember watching so much of that the summer that our family moved to Stillwater. Because you know why? It's kind of sad. We didn't have any friends.
You didn't have any friends.
We had zero friends. So this guy and I holed up in the TV room and watched a lot of Nickelodeon.
We did. We watched a ton of Hey Dude.
Hey Dude.
Hey Dude.
Hey Dude.
Yeah, it's a little wild and a little strange when you make your home out on the range.
Yes.
Have you ever gone back and watched episodes of that show?
It's a little wild and a little strange.
It makes...
That just came to me.
When you make your home out on the range.
Hey, dude.
Grab your horse and come along, 'cause you can't get a ride if you can't hold on. Singing yippee-ki-yay, yippee-ki-yay, what? Like the cowboys say, yeah. Sing it again, now. Yeah, I remember that. And
I can't remember so many things.
listen, if you go back and watch episodes of Hey Dude, they make everybody on Saved by the Bell look like Meryl Streep because the acting
is so bad.
Horrific.
How pretty was that melody, though?
The one on Melody. I thought you were talking about the Melody I just sang because very pretty.
How pretty was that melody?
She married her up a Ben Stiller at one point. They're not married anymore, but she
didn't know that.
Yeah, she and Ben Stiller were married.
Oh, that is the fact of the day.
Christine Taylor.
Oh, no. I knew that.
You're talking
I
about
meant
Brad.
the brunette.
That's Brad.
Oh, her name was Brad.
Yeah, her name was B-Rad, and she had a
breaking barriers.
To me, listen, listen, hot takes, guys. I was a Melody man. I was a Melody man, and I much preferred her to Brad, and Brad got all the love from Ted.
You married a blonde.
That's true. That's
You're
true.
a blonde guy.
And I was not a fan of B-Rad, and also she was always giving Ted the runaround on the show.
Okay.
And it was just, I don't know.
We don't play games.
No,
Brad.
gosh. And I'll tell you who, just the forgotten friend Melody. But then she married Ben Stiller, and all of it worked out.
All was well, and they made
And then it didn't-
dodgeball.
And then it didn't work out.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so we're going to steer it back to the Tower Theater because there's a lot to talk about here. So again, this night was star-studded. Okay,
Star-studded.
A lot of cool people at this event.
Not the type of people who try to force,
No.
who try to shoehorn V cool into a conversation.
And that leads me to my next point.
Fellow concert goers, V cool night
V cool.
tonight.
We fresh and profesh for this rap show,
dude.
guys.
Matt Toney told me that
that's what I was just going to share.
You, Emily Weiser, and I think his wife had all called him independently of each other the day before and said, "Hey, Matt, what does one wear to a rap show?"
What does a 42-year-old mom wear to a rap show? Here's the thing. That sounds way more dramatic. We did not call him. He and I worked together. And in the break room, I was like, hey. And then he laughed and said, my wife asked the exact same question. Because here's the thing. There were a lot of very cool people there, all right?
Cool.
Here's another one of my problems. I have a group of broken toes. At least two of them, maybe three.
This happened separate of your dumpster fire
And
of the
there,
day.
I know this is part of why my life's a dumpster fire, guys. I don't even have a cool story about how it happened. My 14-year-old was pumping some major iron,
Pumping the iron.
and he left a dumbbell
strong.
out.
V-strong.
V-strong. In the middle of his room, and I kicked it in the dark.
Yeah, no, listen.
Walking.
Well,
like a normal person.
Here's the thing. Well, you've never once walked like a normal person. It is as if you have emerged from a raging sea and you're on your way where you're going, but you haven't had time to remove your flippers yet. And you're trying to you're trying to navigate land travel in swimming flippers.
We have large feet, okay? I kicked it in the dark, and so I broke at least 2 toes, maybe 3. Also, the top of my foot's pretty
You are
bruised.
you are osteopenia incarnate. You are.
I have had way less broken bones than you in my life.
Yeah, but
they're all toes and fingers.
But I've done them all in awesome ways. Though.
You really
Listen,
have?
speaking of which, not trying to deviate, 2, 5, 7, 12 minutes on this, and then we'll be right back. Listen, I got a phone call
We're getting back to the tower.
I got a phone call from a dear friend.
Dear
Tanner Cooper.
Tanner. Hi, Tanner.
He's married to Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay.
She
Love
listens to the
Lindsay.
He said that they both found out about the podcast independently of each other, and he walked in the room one day and she was giggling. He was like, "What are you listening to?" And it was our stupid idiot nonsense. But he called me, left me a voicemail when I was on my way to actually unload at the tower,
Nice.
and all I got was a voicemail that said, "Birdwell, it's Tanner. This is important. Call me." I was like, "Oh no."
Something's happened to Tanner.
No, Tanner, V scared. V scared. And so I called Tanner. He didn't answer. I left him a voicemail. I probably left some voicemail about like, I was playing phone tag. Call me. And so he called me back and he said, "We were talking about your podcast and I was explaining to my children what you guys talk about, which, guys, listen, your kids can listen. Our podcast, V clean.
Clean. There's
clean.
potty talk, though,
Yeah,
guys.
but that's
so
but
beware.
but everybody poops, my babies out there. Everybody, boys and girls, guys and dolls. Who likes to make a potty in the porcelain toot toots? Who's got the time? Who's gonna sit and read a TV guide? Find out what's on the TV tonight while I'm
What did Tanner say about his kids?
making poop.
Okay.
So he said that he was explaining to them
Sorry,
what we do and what
Tanner.
we talk about, and he said they talk about Brandon's injuries, and he said, "But I have a story that's not about an injury to you, Brandon, but it properly illustrates how often and how badly you hurt yourself." He said that we went tree jumping together, which we can do another episode.
I remember being in the fraternity house one night when this was about to go down. It's the night I met your
Yeah.
wife.
Well, there you go. It's just all started right
Circle.
there.
It's all
and so
circle.
we went out and we went tree jumping, which was, we can talk more about this in a future episode, where it's you literally climbed to the top of an evergreen tree, counted down from 3 and jumped out of it. Sure. And you hit every branch on the way down like one of those Plinko things on Price is Right. And those were the thing that stopped you from hurting yourself when you hit the ground. Seems counterintuitive, but it worked.
Sounds great.
A guy named Travis Kinnaman, dear friend, climbed to the top in the snow, didn't understand that you don't jump all the way out of the tree, jumped all the way out of the tree, missed every branch on the way down, and I just saw a poof of snow when he hit the ground.
Thank goodness for the snow.
Come to find out, he was concussed.
Oh, no.
Tanner Cooper took him to the emergency room, and the attending emergency room ER doctor, Dr. Roach, dear family friend and wonderful doctor, said to him, "Okay, what do we got here? So what was going on?" And Tanner Cooper said to the doctor, "Well, we were hanging out with Brandon Birdwell." And the doctor said, "Stop.
You've said enough.
I don't need to hear any more out of you."
That's amazing.
And so
You're so well known in the ER.
the fact that I had really carved out a reputation for myself in the Stillwater Medical Center emergency room is kind of the high point of my life.
Put that on your business cards that you don't carry. Okay, so we go to the Tower Theater, and I'm feeling very limited by my outfit choices. Okay, Matt had suggested some things. He really didn't. He was no help at all.
Can I tell you something about Matt Toney? He's got style.
That's why, listen,
He's got drip.
That's why I consulted him.
Yeah, you should have.
And I said, what do I wear? I have 2 pair of shoes that I can wear right now that make me not want to die. And they're both Nikes, like tennis shoes. So anyway, I felt very limited by my footwear, and there was some great footwear at this event.
Did you feel limited by the footwear because they don't make shoes big enough to house those bodacious
Brandon.
flippers? Sorry.
That's great.
I thought so.
That's great.
It's called comedy.
The way you're making me feel today when I've really put it out there about all my struggles.
You have called me a biscuit tin so many times on this podcast.
You've made that about yourself.
Yeah, well.
So we get to this event, and it starts late. Because there were some technical issues, yes?
There were, and I was upstairs just panicking because I was like, I don't want all of these people to think that I'm like, I won't go on for another 30 minutes.
Because you were the first group to perform.
Yes.
So Brandon was being a real diva back there.
Real Streisand, real Axl Rose type behavior.
Unless you get me a bowl full of only brown M&Ms.
Only brown.
I'm out of here.
They're the only ones. Don't all M&Ms taste the same to you?
They 100%. Unless they have an added ingredient like peanuts or peanut butter.
That's not
pretzels
the same.
or
but
you know what I mean.
One peanut M&M to another is
Sure.
the same.
Same.
Yeah, totally.
The shell doesn't affect the taste.
No. Stop with your propaganda.
Yeah, quit it. So can I tell
But
you?
also sponsor us M&Ms.
Sponsor us M&Ms. You're great. Chocolatey goodness. So one great thing that happened at this event while I was waiting for you to go on, you know who I finally got to meet? And we got to mention him anyway.
Michael Trepanier.
And guys, guess what? Believe the hype.
Oh, believe it. You better believe
He's
the hype.
great.
He's the best.
The kindest, most encouraging, thoroughly enjoyed speaking with Michael. So hi, Michael, and hi to your wife, whom I need to meet.
Yeah, she's great.
Okay, so I hear your dogs barking in the background.
Listen, you brought
Continuing with the theme of chaos.
You brought this chaotic energy in here with you. I had saged.
I came in here like I limped in here like a whirlwind.
I, guys, had saged the room with Nagchampa. I had gone around. I had cleansed this air because I knew that Ashley was coming in like a whirling dervish of destruction. Not only was she going to just wreck the podcast, come unplugged, snort, scream, screech. It's rubbing off on my dogs now. They're very intuitive and they're picking up on all of your negative energy.
Please. All right. So you guys go on, and let me just say what I just want you to know this, and I've told you, and I've told your band, but I want the people to hear you guys were amazing, and I was so proud of you.
Thank you. It was super.
Sound was great.
Super fun. It's always an added benefit when you surround yourself with not just super fun guys to play with, but guys that are really good and make you sound better than you actually are.
So talented.
Thanks to all of you guys for being much better musicians than I am so that I can ride your coattails to a star-studded event.
You know what we do? We salute your jorts.
We salute your jorts. That's a good tie back. Yeah. I like that. It was solid.
We salute your jorts, guys. Mm-hmm. You were incredible. We all had so much fun.
Thank you.
And it was, even though my toes were like sausages.
See, just stop. You can't. It's not. We had a great night.
we had a great night.
You were really down there on the floor in the mush pit, mushing.
There wasn't one.
Slam dancing and mushing.
Okay.
I like to go to a Limp Bizkit show and mush in the marsh pit, babies. Sure. I like to slam dance. Babies. I'm a hardcore rocker.
Sounds worse to me than that. I mean, what's the payoff?
You didn't.
Throbbing headache for the rest of the
No, man.
week?
Sometimes you can make some really good friends in the pit.
Can you?
Yeah, dude. Very chill mosh. Very cool people in the pit.
Cool mosh pit.
God, yeah. Have your footage of marsh pits?
Yeah.
Is terrifying to me.
That's what I'm saying. What's the payoff? What's the point?
You're begging for some broken toes in a marsh pit.
Well, 100 among other things. So. Right after you guys came on, there was a string quartet, and they were a bit of a surprise.
The Stringsmen, they're called.
Stringsmen. They were incredibly talented, and it was great because they played 90s hip-hop. Mm-hmm. Who knew the Thong Song was so beautiful?
Cisco did, and I did, and also everyone in America did.
Everyone in that room did. There was some incredible hip-hop dancing taking place.
How was that song the number one song on the planet Earth for an entire summer?
It was the soundtrack to my summer in London experience.
The chorus is thong, 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 thong.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's what Cisco says. is thong, 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 thong.
I'm going to tell you what, though. It is beautiful.
Girl, that
Instrumental.
booty, so dangerous.
Children,
Booty.
listen. So we enjoyed the Stringsmen very much.
Yeah,
then
they were great.
There were Serafina
Bird.
performed. She was lovely. And then we had a Merce.
A Merce?
Merce.
Yeah, okay, sorry, I was very
I
confused.
said, Merce, not immerse.
Like there's multiple Merces and you just, we had one of them.
The one.
Yeah, we had.
Merce. Also phenomenal. And then JB went on. And he had quite the setup. He had 4 singers that were, listen.
In the green room, they started doing like harmonizing and doing like a whole like vocal game.
Yeah.
And they were all so good.
So good.
And they had heard me sound check. So they're like, oh, he sings. And they were like, you come get in this. And
Sing a G.
You've never seen a person derail something cool faster than me trying to blend in with these incredible singers. Like they're going on these crazy vocal runs and they're like, okay. And they like just point at you when it was your turn.
Oh my God, I'm sweating right now thinking about that. It's my nightmare.
I guarantee you they left that room being like, we shouldn't have invited him into the open vocal jam.
The open vocal jam.
I mean, just so awkward. Like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Oh, I'm so sweaty.
Yeah, I haven't stopped sweating since then. It is hot in here. I'm sweating.
Warm. It's stuffy. Yeah. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to push through. We're going to power through.
That's all we can do, really.
That's all we can do.
That's just, you just rise above adversity, guys. What would WWRRD, what would Ryan Reynolds do if he found himself in a particularly sweaty situation? Producer's nodding his head, he knows.
Yeah.
What's going on with your nose today, producer? Weird.
Okay, so at one point, this is also noteworthy to me for some reason. It just made me laugh so hard. At one point, I lost you. We were enjoying the show. I turn around, you guys are gone. You're gone. And I'm like, where's everybody? Yeah. And I come out in the hallway, and I see you rounding the corner with a gigantic bowl of Brussels sprouts.
Well, sure.
And you're just shoveling them in.
Is that not a thing to do at a rap show?
Guys, is it? This was my first one.
dude, listen, here's the thing.
It's actually not, guys.
I'm
cool.
Guys, listen, I grew up in the hip-hop game, and I gotta tell you, I've seen them all. I've seen Perf Dirty. I've seen Mouse.
Perf Dirty.
I've seen Jersey. One time I saw Big Pun rapping with Fat Joe and DJ Khaled. Terror Squad. I've seen them all, and guess what? Every single time, Brussels sprouts on tap, baby. We're out in the crowd tossing. DJ Khaled just throws Brussels sprouts into the crowd. Just throws
like candy.
Yeah, except Brussels sprouts, nature's candy. That's what they call them. Have you not heard DJ Khaled's hit single, Nature's Candy?
Haven't.
Parenthetical Brussels sprouts, close parentheses. That guy.
No.
I've been so obsessed with DJ Khaled lately because he is the most ham-fisted baby Huey of a human in the world, and I've decided that how he does everything, like how he does anything is how he does everything. He plays a guitar the same way he dunks a basketball on a 5-foot goal, the same way he cooks a steak, and it is the clumsiest, weirdest thing, and he just yells while doing it. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Was that a dog?
That's a dog. It's DJ.
That's not a sound that a dog even makes. What
They're
was
wrestling.
That?
They're wrestling.
God, they gotta quit it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
But so about a bowl full of Brussels. So then
a bowl full of Brussels.
So then I lose you guys again, and I think you're upstairs at the Pony Boy, which is a bar upstairs, which you've played in before.
It's just called Pony Boy.
Okay. You know what?
I read about it on the Facebooks. So yeah.
You stop it.
I'll stop nothing.
So I go upstairs, and all of a sudden I find myself in a room full of youths who were awaiting the DJ that was about to set up in there.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get out of there fast enough.
Yeah. Well, no, you sure?
It was not my scene. No. I mean, I was limping down the stairs with my sausage toes, but I went as fast as I could, guys.
It's a much less violent mosh pit type environment in there. It's because everybody's there to have fun, but there's a lot of gyrating,
so then I went,
a lot of sweating.
Oh, so sweaty. And then
Hypercolor sweaty.
Hypercolors. No, but you know what it was up there? A 90s fashion renaissance.
Sure, yeah.
I had so many of the things those people were wearing.
Yeah, well, you could you could seriously make a killing selling all of that stuff back to the youths. Learn this lesson, guys.
My Doc Martens.
As stuff cycles out, it's going to come back. So you should probably keep 3, 4, 5 storage units on hand at all times.
Yes.
Fill them up with your old clothes, my babies, because you never know what kind of a treasure trove those spandex leggings are going to be. You never
might be
know.
able to sell them and make money to buy a new microphone for your podcast.
See, there you
Someday.
go. Yeah, that's really, oh gosh, I wish. We went to that toy place in Eureka Springs, and
yes.
I went through and I saw so many toys with crazy price tags on them. I was like, had that,
Totally.
but I played with them
Right.
and lost them and stuff.
And you know what? If the Toy Story movies have taught us anything, play with those toys, guys.
And also,
Play
be
with
kind to them. Don't be like Sid. Have you ever seen that in the future, like the later Toy Stories, Sid winds up being the garbage man?
No.
It's a little Easter egg.
Oh,
How about that?
okay.
Hey,
You're
you're
full
welcome
of
for
those
that.
kinds of things.
You're welcome for that. You've got a friend in me.
So it was incredible people watching, which is one of my favorite activities. I saw the best dancing.
Oh my gosh.
So first of all was this gentleman and his lady friend who were kind of in front of us. And I have a video of this because it made me smile so big. When the Thong Song was playing,
But of course.
but it was the instrumental version. It was beautiful.
Sure.
But the dancing was like the real Thong Song dancing. It was a real disconnect.
What key did they play it in, do you know?
The original.
Was it in the string of G? Do you get it?
Oh my God. Guys, sometimes I'll look over at Brandon and I know some good's coming because he's got this mischievous look. And that was one of those times. Just the glint.
No one felt
The
good.
glint in the eye where I'm like, brace yourself. And then I feel a rush of adrenaline because it's like what Crindy told us. When I listen to the podcast, I get real nervous. But then she followed it up with, but it's a good nervous.
Oh, sure. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom.
And I said, I get it. I sit across from him and I feel the same.
Listen, we just, guys, we just like to keep it lively and keep it hopping, my guys. It's fresh, it's profesh, it's all over the map. But you know what? We're always going to find our way there together because we're on a journey. We're on a journey, my baby. It's a podcasting journey. My baby doggies, we're
My
here.
puppy baby doggy.
Baby doggies. All right, get us back on track, please.
So we did not get home until 1 a.m. That's what I'm saying.
Until the 1 a.m.
And what?
1 a.m.
1 a.m. And that hits different when you're 40, when you're 42.
It really does. That's true.
I'm still recovering. And I don't think I'll be back to normal for weeks.
You've got,
And I'm a night owl.
it's the equivalent of jet lag. You have jet lagged yourself, but you've not left the time zone.
No.
You stayed here.
No, it's the truth. But it was such a fantastic evening, and I'm just proud of you, and I'm proud of JB, and I'm just so grateful for the whole experience. It was a delight.
It was great. We had a good time. It was genuine honor and pleasure and all that to be there and just to even be. It was just great to just be nominated.
Just great to be nominated. You guys, you don't even know. Okay, so we introduced something exciting last week. And this was our new page at speakpipe.com/coldhands_warmhearts. And Brandon gets mad when I give the whole address. But I don't care. We didn't choose it. It's very long.
So old.
Okay, I've just talked about how old I am this whole time.
So old. Huge feet.
Okay.
You're literally a bag of liabilities at this point.
Listen, after the day I've had, I am not going to fight you on that. So, speakpipe.com, where you can go and you can record up to 90 seconds of audio for us.
No more.
At no more. You can do less, but you can't do more. And so we got a message on SpeakPipe.
Have you heard people lately say this? Like if you say something and they think it's cool, instead of saying, oh, that's cool or whatever, they go, say less.
No.
Yeah, it's gross.
I don't like that.
I had a waiter say it to me the other day because he
Ew.
liked my beverage order. He goes, oh, say less. And I was like, I don't know what that means.
I don't like that.
I didn't like it at all.
I don't like that at all.
His name was Gerard, and I didn't like that either. Speaking of which, we've got a
Well, he
French.
can't help
We've
that.
got a French listener now. We stalled at Guam for a while.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, but we've got
Mon ami.
we've got a United Kingdom. We've got a Mexico.
Now, again, We gotta check with Jeff to see where he is.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. We're artificially getting our international listeners because your husband is such a jet setter.
He travels internationally for work, and so
I was worried
we
though.
can't count his.
I was worried that we were stalled at Guam, but now we've moved on.
We do have a legit listener in Guam.
Is a Guamese person?
No.
Guamese.
That's not right. But yeah, we're really traversing the globe.
Jeff is.
With our pod, with my husband.
It's all the same IP
my
address.
husband.
Golly.
I don't think the French listener. No, you know what? It was Jeff.
It was Jeff. He literally. We can track where his travels go based on where our podcast listens
Our
go.
analytics.
Oh my gosh, we are skewing the whole
So
system.
don't try to lie to me, Jeff, about where you are. We'll find you.
There's not a podcast in the world that has one listener who is literally. It's like when people go on like around the world with like a cardboard cutout of somebody and take a picture in front of like the pyramids, take a picture in front of the Eiffel Tower. Jeff's doing that, but just with our podcast.
Do you know that would be the most expensive way to like bump up your analytics to try to get sponsors?
God, we just really need somebody in Bruges. Jeff, you think you could?
You guys know anyone?
Could you hop on the jet
in Belgium?
Can you hop on the G6 and buzz on out to Bruges so that we can get one single podcast download? Thanks, bud. Appreciate you.
You're working so hard. Working so hard for this podcast. Okay, so we're going to play this. How do we get there? SpeakPipe message from a dear friend.
Dear friend, and we're gonna, producer, if you could give this a little clicky click, and we'll let that play.
Hello, this is Gladys Rickenbacker, and I sure love listening to you too. Your podcast thingy is sure good. It's a good one.
Thank you, Gladys.
I suppose if I had any kind of question for y'all, it'd be a question that has stumped me for ages, and that is, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Thank you guys. You guys are doing such a great job. You keep it up. You're funny.
Wasn't yucking it up at the end, Gladys.
Listen, excuse me.
I don't know the answer to your question, Gladys. You sound like a coot. Like a crazy old coot.
So Gladys Rickenbacker.
A woodchuck-obsessed coot.
Yeah. Gladys Rickenbacker is actually a character played by my dear friend. Erin Moore. And I love that she called in as Gladys. You know why? Gladys was the character that she played when we'd have high school sleepovers. I cannot tell you how many times Erin called the Depends hotline as Gladys Rickenbacker. I cannot even tell you.
Can we also talk about the fact that there was a Depends hotline?
Right.
Like,
adult diapers.
My diaper sprung a leak, so I need to call the
I need tech support.
Like, what did they say? I'm sorry, miss. Have you tried not pooping in them?
No, listen. And of course, I was never the person making the crank call because I'm a rule follower, and I would get too nervous. I'd be afraid you could. Was it *69 where you could trace the number?
I loved *69, and *67 was how you could call anonymously,
which is terrifying.
So if you're trying to talk to a babe. You're trying to talk to a babe, and you don't want to talk to her mom and dad or have them know who you are, because that's how we used to do it, boys and girls.
We did. You don't know, guys.
I used to have to call, and the parent would pick up and say hello, and I would say, "Hi, Mr. Jacobson. Is Taryn around? I'd like to talk to her." Hi, Taryn. Taryn Jacobson.
Beautiful Taryn.
Beautiful Taryn. She and I started dating in the 8th grade. It was a whirlwind romance, and we never officially broke up. So for years, every time we saw each other, we'd be like, "Are we still dating?" And she would say, "I guess." And I'd be like,
we're both married to other people now.
And neither one of us wanted to be the one to break it off, because listen, my babies, you just a love like that. A love like that. You don't want to break that off.
But listen, so intimidating. And I never had to do this because I was never one to call the fellas.
No, and they were never one to call you.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. You're doing great.
I'm really not.
You're not. Listen, here's the thing.
I'm holding it together.
You are just baling wire and hot glue held together.
Sweaty
Yeah,
right now.
I can tell.
Oh my gosh.
You stink.
It's okay.
From over here.
From across the room.
From all the way
I'll
across
tell
the
you what
studio.
being here is not doing for me, lifting me up today.
I didn't sign on to lift you up.
I usually am lifted.
I signed
the way.
on to entertain the peeps, baby.
Okay, so Gladys Rickenbacker was a character that often, she was one of a handful
You
of
hit
characters.
the T in often. So.
Okay, that Aaron really mastered. But I was always the person on the floor, covered in a heap of pillows, just shaking from laughter, trying to not give it away to the depends person. I mean, she would draw these conversations out for such a long time.
What do you think that?
And that's how we
right. So
spend our Friday nights.
So you're 46, 47. You show up to work.
Good grief.
At your job.
Yeah.
And you punch the clock.
Yeah.
To start taking depends phone calls. And some butt-faced teenagers start calling you throughout the night while all you want to do is be done and get home to your Kraft mac and cheese or your Hungry Man Din Din so that you can watch your shows, unwind, and forget that you work at the Depends hotline. But Aaron is calling you, giving you the
14-year-old girl.
Some 14-year-old is calling you at your duty job, at your pee-pee poo-poo die-die job, and telling you that, you know what, I'm going to make jokes about the fact that you work for the adult diaper company.
It was terrible. But listen, we could have been out doing really bad stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you ever make crank calls?
That depends.
That got me good.
Yeah, no, we used to make prank phone calls all the time. There used to be a thing
To whom?
called video vendor auction, where it was the local cable access, and
Yep.
they would just auction off the most random crap ever.
Late into the night.
And Dustin
All
Downing
night.
and I, dear friend Dustin Downing, and I,
Dear friend.
we love to call.
Stillwater High
because
School's best looking.
Best looking. He turns 40 tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Dustin.
Happy birthday, Dustin! Whoop whoop. I sent him a video, but it's on the hush hush. But this will come out after.
Okay.
So,
No spoilers.
but he and I would watch it, and we would order pizza shuttle pizzas. And as I mentioned, because
Delicious.
I was always just so hungry. But since then, guys, I'm strong. But here's the thing: we would call them, and they were local folks who were working at the auction in real time, and we'd be like, "Hey, I really like that squirrel alarm clock.
I remember.
But could you
Squirrel alarm.
could you get out there and like hold it over your head so I can see how heavy it is or something like that?" And like we would just see if we could get them to go out on the screen and do it. And one time I did it a bunch of times all night with a bust of Poseidon. And at the end I felt so bad that I bought the
You
bust of
purchased
Poseidon. I bought it.
Where is that thing?
It was in Mom's classroom for a stretch there,
years.
but I bought it on online, or not online, but internet wasn't the thing. But the video vendor television auction.
How much you pay for it?
I don't know. It couldn't have been more than like $12. I didn't have more than like $12.
Does she still have it?
I hope so, because I could resell it to some of these hipster kids these days.
You really
Because
could.
you know what's in now? Greek mythology.
It never wasn't.
I guess.
Okay, so Gladys, thanks for calling in. That brought
Thanks.
back a lot of good memes.
The memes?
V
V
cool
memes. V cool memes. Hey guys, who's ready to make some V cool memes tonight out on the dance floor in the mosh pit with the Limp Bizkits? Baby.
Sounds like the worst night of my life.
Yeah, well, this is threatening to be the worst day of mine. So.
Well, it's on track to be in the top 5. Not really. Okay, I'm grateful. You know what?
Okay, well, Pastor.
In the midst of the storm,
Pastor's out the bag.
I'm grateful.
Here comes the pastor.
Sometimes we gotta say it till we believe it. I'm grateful.
It's called manifestation, Ashley.
That's right.
Oh.
I'm doing it right now into this pantyhose cover.
I'm manifesting into these pantyhose.
I don't like that, but it's funny.
I like it a lot because it's funny.
So, what are you watching, reading, or listening to this week, Brandon?
We've been watching Severance still.
How are you feeling about it now?
It's still heavy.
Does it leave you with bad feels?
Tonight's Bachelor night, so we'll watch that. This is the most dumpster fire season because there's 2 bachelorettes.
Yeah.
All you're doing is you're turning it into Flavor of Love. It's Rock of Love. It's a real world Road Rules challenge all over again. It's not. We've lost the refinement that the original Bachelorette had. It's slowly becoming a dumpster fire.
Authenticity.
Ben started watching a show on Nickelodeon about quadruplets called like Ricky, Nikki, Dickie, something, and Dawn. And we've been watching a lot of that. And it's he likes it. We have fun. We have fun.
We have fun.
Reading. I don't know. I haven't started reading. I don't know.
Okay. Well, you've been really busy.
You know who I've been listening to a little bit is a band that I'm going to open for in Goliad, Texas, and then back in Oklahoma City in a couple weeks. They're called Grady Spencer and the Work.
Oh.
And they're very, very good, kind of like Americana country kind of vibe. And they're just the sweetest dudes ever. And I'm super excited to play with them. So I've been listening to Grady Spencer and the Work.
Everybody should listen to them.
Everybody should. They're amazing.
So I have been reading a whole lot lately, and it's been a joy because, like I said, with seminary, I read nothing but school books and commentaries
Bibles.
and Bibles, various translations of the Bible.
I read so much Bibles, you guys.
I really did.
Cover to cover Bibles.
And so I read another book. I just, again, plowed right through another Kristen Hanna book called The Four Winds about the Dust Bowl. That was a terrible time. Just a terrible time. Coupled with the Great Depression and that.
You got your...
What a horrible time.
I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to read about
Those people were warriors.
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't have much else they could do about it. Just, you got to deal with the dust. You got to deal with the dust and you got to be depressed, right? That's what those were.
Right.
Okay, cool. I know history.
Dusty depression.
Guys, I know history. I know history and it's no mystery, my babies. I know what went on, and because of that, I know cycles and trends and I know what's coming. You know what's coming? 90s clothes are coming back. That's what's happening.
It's a renaissance.
It is a renaissance.
So save your stuff to sell in the future, kids.
That's it.
So I've also been watching a show on Netflix called Indian Matchmaking. It's season 2.
Okay.
And it's Indian people, and there's a matchmaker named Seema, and she's
Okay.
based in India, but she travels to the U.S. and does like arranged marriages.
That's interesting because
It's
that's a whole thing.
fascinating.
Because
It's
that's a whole culture.
beautiful.
That's a whole culture
I'm
around
obsessed.
arranged marriages.
Yeah, it is a great show, and all I want is for these kids
Oh, these
To
dear,
find-
dear kids.
to find their mates.
Sure.
It's beautiful.
I've not even seen the show, and I want these dear kids to find their mate.
I'm in it with them.
You're
I'm
in
in
it.
it with them to the end.
You are. And the funny thing is, guys, I'm joking, but Ashley is
I'm not.
heavily invested in these strangers' situation.
And if we get to the end and none of them find a match, I don't know what I'll do.
You'll come back for season 3 to see if they can't rectify this horrible mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been watching that. So now let's get into the Orbit Sweetman Challenge because this review is a real humdinger.
We also got another humdinger. I'm not going to spoil it, but it might be from our dear friend Jonathan that we'll get
coming
to
next
next
week.
week. I just need him to
Teaser.
know that we got it. After the agenda went to press. After the agenda went to press.
After I hit send in Gmail.
This one is Orbit Sweetman Challenge review. You can call me Al, parentheses, pal, close parentheses. Reference.
Wait,
What?
No, go ahead.
What?
No, go.
What?
You say it.
You can call me Al, parentheses, pal, close parentheses, if you're funny and you know what's good for you. I love how this is starting out in a threatening posture to the
Authoritative.
If you're funny and you know what's good for you, you'll listen to CHWH. I also love that people use CHWH because it makes us sound V cool.
Yeah.
Listening to my dear, sweet, kind, hilarious V professional friends, Brandon and Ashley. But I bet this person's hip enough to use the V.
I think that she is.
Brandon and Ashley makes me want to go try fine wineries in the mountains and explore caves, or something. You just know the weirdest stuff edited. She actually edited it herself. Would happen, and I'm just here for the bit. Commit to the bit. The Topo Chico peep peep poo poo. That's the title of the episode, kind of bit. But like, guys, for real, we're hitting some catchphrases
So
in this
many
one.
inside jokes.
Listen to laugh and smile and forget about all the problems in your world for a moment while two sibs so professionally banter on and travel down memory lane. It gets weird, and that's why we love it. Skadoosh. Only putting that word here so I can hear Brandon say it. Tell the people to pause and go leave us a rating or a review if they can. That's what you wrote.
Those are stage directions.
Those are stage directions.
And you ruined it.
Exit stage left. Okay, guys, let's finish this up. I'm going to do that again. Only putting this word here, skadoosh. Only putting this word here so I can hear Brandon say it. Pause for effect. 2, 3. And guys, if you could go and leave us a rating or a review, if you can, I've been instructed to ask for you to do that in the stage directions from the stage manager, Ashley.
I've on my headset
God,
and my clipboard.
Like, that is so... I'm Ron Burgundy? That's so like I'm a slave to the prompter because it's got 2 asterisks next to it. I should have known that wasn't what she said. Like at the end,
way below it as well.
Tell the people to pause and go leave a rating and a review.
No,
if
but for
they
reals,
can.
guys, if you haven't given us a rating or a review, we feel so bad asking you all the time. But if you haven't,
I don't. It's fine. I'll ask. I've been instructed by the stage directions. I'm happy to do it.
The producer made this note.
Guys, if you can, it says, but only if you can. If you're physically incapable of leaving the review, you don't have to do it.
If you haven't already, just click the 5th star and it fills it right in for you.
Guys,
and then also write one because you guys are funny.
If you sit down to write and your hands hover over the keys and you say to yourself, I just can't.
I can't do it.
I want to.
My kids are sick. My toes are broken.
I want so desperately to leave a review for these 2 idiots who won't stop asking for it and won't stop offering me chewing gum.
Yeah, we'll give you gum.
We will give you gum.
From a company that doesn't want us.
We'll give you gum from a company that doesn't want us.
So Crindy, again, is still not on board with the reviewing via text. But she's still stressing about it. But I did get some, what I'm going to call micro reviews yesterday.
Oh.
After church.
Okay.
And she saw Where the Crawdads Sing, which was a fantastic book. Read the book, haven't seen the movie yet. But she said she won't review it. Just like Elvis, because it's too emotional and it's too important. Should tell you some things about that.
Does she not understand that her 2 40-year-old children are trying to make a funny ha-ha show at her expense, and our future on the internet depends on her?
We've got Jeff traveling the world.
We have deployed all of our resources. We've deployed everything we've got. We've sent Jeff to Guam.
France.
Jeff's gone to France.
Jeff didn't go to Guam.
Took a red-eye to Guam. He's been all over the planet. Jet setting globe-trotting. Crindy can't send a text message.
About the crawdads.
Come on, the Crindy. Go ahead, sorry.
This review's a little more in-depth.
Oh.
But I don't know if the people are ready. She said she's been watching a lot of My Feet Are Killing Me on TLC.
Because they'll make a show out of anything at this point.
It's a show about foot surgeries.
No, I get it.
And she was standing there with me and our dear friend, Emily Weiser.
Dear friend.
And she told Emily and I that she is not afraid of foot surgeries anymore. And what she means by that is not watching foot surgery. She's not afraid of performing them.
Oh, like on other people?
On other people.
Well, sure.
And she told me, she said, Ashley, you should just come over to my house and I'll repair your foot on my kitchen counter with tools from my garage. She said that.
Well, listen.
And at this point, I might have her try.
I think it's
it hurts.
I think it's so weird that she had an irrational fear of performing foot surgeries. Like, is that a thing that she would like wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night, be like, foot surgery? Oh my God.
I can't do it.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Stop making me do it. Don't make me do it.
I don't know, but I want to credit that show for bolstering her.
Helping her overcome adversity.
That's right.
Oh my
Her
gosh.
phobia.
Crindy, listen. Are you okay?
Okay, guys, so before we go.
Is everything good? Are you okay?
Mom, you okay?
Are you practicing foot surgeries on people? Like, are you
in your kitchen?
Like back alley foot surgeries? Like, are you
with a drill from your garage
administering illegal foot surgeries? Accepting people's insurance willy-nilly out in the streets?
Because if you are, we'll take some of that
because
cash
if you are,
to finance the podcast.
Because if you are, Jeff needs a plane ticket to Puerto Rico right now.
We need a Puerto Rican.
Because we really need a Puerto Rican listen.
Okay. Guys, as we close today, I want to
That
invite
sounded
you.
so much like a sermon ending.
As we
As we
close
close
today, I'm going to
today.
invite our ushers to come forward.
Come forward. Golly, do you know one of my favorite things is Cody Culberson, dear friend Cody
Dear.
Culberson.
Hi, Cody.
He, like most people, detests the stand up and shake someone's hand that you haven't met portion of a church service.
church, yeah.
And he is a worship pastor, and he doesn't do it anymore, but he told me that at one point in his career, he loved doing that and being like, stand up, shake someone's hand, greet them today. And then pausing for like a full minute and a half and making people just have the most awkward conversations ever and just dragging it out because he got some sort of sadistic, sick
Enjoyed
enjoyment
watching
of
it from the
Yeah.
stage.
He didn't want to be engaged in it, but he wanted to watch it just, oh, nice to meet you. Hey, this is so lovely. I've heard
That Jell-O salad in the
I'll tell you
narthex was
what,
delicious.
last time when this Gladys brought her the Jell-O salad to the potluck.
Call back.
Call back to Gladys. I'll tell you what.
Oh, Gladys. So, guys, we want to invite you to go to SpeakPipe. Speaking of Gladys, speakpipe.com/coldhands_warmhearts. Leave us comments, questions, stories, sponsorship ideas, whatever. We'll play them
If
and we'll
you
talk
want to
about
test
them.
out your comedy bits on dozens and dozens of listeners,
This is your place.
this is your place.
Do it.
SpeakPipe.
.com/coldhands_warmhearts. See, it's not that long.
HTTPS speech pipes like
Okay, you're going to confuse them now. We also want to invite you to follow us on our social media. We're on all the platforms now. We're even on TikTok at CHWH Pod.
pretty sure you spelled TikTok wrong here because
I
you're
did.
so old.
Anyway, I hate TikTok, but
Yeah.
we're there. So, guys, Harrison.
Okay.
That's where I'm at. That's where
We
I'm
need
at.
to wrap this thing up. Come on.
What's your warm heart?
My warm heart was getting to play the music with the friends. It's every week, but one of these days I'm going to have one that's not that. I promise.
My warm heart is that school started, and for a couple days it was great.
Okay.
And it was the most normal back to school we've had in years.
You're bumming out the entire
Okay.
internet. Hey guys, thanks for coming in and
I
listening
did
to
it, though.
Cole.
I
You
held
did.
it together.
You know what? You made it through. You look a little worse for the wear. You
love
reek
you guys.
and you have broken toes. Thanks for listening to Cold Hands, Warm Hearts, guys. We appreciate you. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a share. Go to SpeakPipe. Okay.
Bye.
Oh, it's still recording.